Hello and welcome. Today, we're diving into a topic that comes with a ton of hope, anxiety, and just so many questions. How to actually use a home pregnancy test the right way so you can get a result you can truly trust. Let's get right into it. It all comes down to this, doesn't it? One line or two. Those few minutes of waiting can feel like an absolute eternity while you're staring at that tiny little window. But what's really going on inside that test strip, and how can you be sure you're reading the results correctly? Well, that's exactly what we're going to figure out together. So before we get into the how-to, it's super important to understand the why. I mean, how can a simple little plastic stick know something so life-changing? It all comes down to a tiny, secret messenger molecule. And here it is, the star of the show, HCG, which stands for human chorionic gonadotropin. You can think of it as the secret password for pregnancy. It's this one specific hormone that these tests are designed to hunt for. See, if you're pregnant, your body starts producing it, and the test is basically a little detective looking for it in your urine. No HCG, you get a negative result, but if it's there, well, that's when you see that second line pop up. This really breaks down its journey perfectly. It all starts with implantation. Once the embryo settles into the uterine wall, the developing placenta immediately starts pumping out HCG. From there, it gets into your bloodstream, and eventually, your kidneys filter it out into your urine. And that's exactly why timing is so crucial. You've got to give that hormone enough time to build up to a level that the test can actually detect. Okay, we've covered the science, so now let's get down to the practical side of things. Think of this next part as your step-by-step plan to get it right, with no guesswork involved. Prep work is everything, and it really just comes down to a few simple rules. First up, timing is key. For the most accurate result, you really want to wait until about 4 to 6 days after your missed period. Second, always try to use your first morning urine. Why? Because that's when the HCG is most concentrated. Third, try not to chug a bunch of water right before the test, since that can dilute your sample. And finally, this sounds obvious, but it's so important, always check the expiration date on the box. And now for the test itself. Step 1, collect your sample in a clean, dry container. Step 2, use that little dropper that comes in the kit and put exactly 2 drops into the little circular well. And then, the hard part. You wait. Set a timer for the exact time the instructions say. It's usually somewhere between 90 seconds and 5 minutes. Seriously, timing is crucial here, so don't peek early, and don't forget about it and check it hours later. All right, the timer's going off. This is it, the moment of truth. Let's break down exactly how to interpret what you're seeing in that little window so there's absolutely no confusion. So this lives it out pretty clearly. A negative result means you see just one line. That's the control line marked with a C, and its only job is to tell you that the test is working properly. A positive result, on the other hand, is when you see 2 lines. You get that control line plus a second line next to the T for test. That second line is the one that says, yep, we found the hormone. But now we come to the single biggest point of confusion for so many people. What if the control line is dark and clear, but the test line is, well, it's barely there. Just a whisper of a line, a faint shadow. What on earth does that mean? Okay, let's just clear this up right here, right now. A faint T-line, that almost always indicates pregnancy. The darkness of the line doesn't matter. If you can see a second line at all, even if you have to squint, it means the test has detected HCG. So why would the line be faint? It usually just means that your HCG levels are still on the lower side, probably because you tested pretty early. For your own peace of mind, the best thing to do is wait another 3 or 4 days and then retest, again with your first morning urine. By that point, your hormone levels should be much higher, and you'll likely see a much clearer, darker positive line. So whether that line was faint, dark, or didn't show up at all, you have a result. The next logical question is, what do you do now? Let's map out the next steps. If you got a positive result, your very next call should be to your doctor to get it confirmed and start a plan. If it was negative, but your period is still missing in action, it's a good idea to just wait a few more days and test again. And if you're ever just not sure, a doctor can give you the most accurate answer. And that really is the gold standard. You know, while home tests are incredibly accurate when you use them right, the blood test you get from a doctor is the most sensitive and definitive confirmation you can get. It can pick up even the tiniest amounts of HCG, leaving absolutely no room for doubt. So there you have it, from the science behind the hormone to the simple steps for reading the lines. In the end, this little test gives you an answer, but really, it marks the beginning of a new chapter, no matter the outcome. The only question left is, What journey are you starting today?